Climate change is no longer a distant problem. It's here, it's now, and it's personal. The Paris Agreement was supposed to be our collective lifeline.
Je regarde la salle, je vois que la réaction est positive, je n'entends pas d'objection. L'accord de Paris pour le climat.
But then came the rallying cry of drill, baby, drill.
Escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
And one decision changed everything. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects every single one of us: climate change. Specifically, we'll explore the Paris Agreement, Donald Trump's fossil fuel policies, and their ripple effects across the globe. Trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for this one. Let's start with some history. December 2015, world leaders gather in Paris and adopt a groundbreaking treaty. It's called the Paris Agreement, and its goal is nothing short of saving the planet. The mission? Keep global warming well below 2 degrees Celsius, with a stretch goal of limiting it to 1.5 degrees. Why does that half a degree matter? Because every fraction of a degree means the difference between manageable and catastrophic climate impacts. Think stronger hurricanes, more wildfires, and rising sea levels displacing millions. Key objectives of the Paris Agreement. First, limit temperature rise by keeping the planet's warming below the 2-degree threshold. Second, push countries to set increasingly ambitious climate goals, called Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDCs, which are updated every 5 years. Third, support developing nations, acknowledging that poorer countries, often the hardest hit by climate change, need financial and technological help. And finally, assess global progress every 5 years through a process called the Global Stocktake. On paper, it was an inspiring plan. But then came 2017. Donald Trump announced that the United States, one of the world's largest greenhouse gas emitters, would pull out of the Paris Agreement. Why? He argued it was unfair to the US and would harm the economy, putting jobs at risk. Trump's energy policies were a stark contrast to the goals of the Paris Agreement. His administration prioritized fossil fuels, rolling back environmental regulations, expanding oil drilling, and reviving coal mining. The phrase "drill, baby, drill" became a symbol of this push for energy independence through fossil fuels. But here's the catch: climate change doesn't respect borders. When the US stepped away, the ripple effects were immediate. As one of the biggest emitters, the US plays a key role in global climate efforts. Its withdrawal undermined collective action and emboldened other countries to relax their own commitments. After all, if the US wasn't leading by example, why should they? Trump's decision also strained relationships with global allies. Many nations saw the move as a betrayal. After all, climate change is a shared problem, and tackling it requires cooperation. To make matters worse, the lack of US leadership created a vacuum, making it harder for nations to align on climate goals. This brings us to a crucial point: how one leader's decisions can shape the destiny of the world. Donald Trump didn't just impact the US, his policies had global consequences. For instance, other fossil fuel-dependent nations felt justified in delaying their own climate transitions. Meanwhile, international tensions rose as climate negotiations became more fractured. But here's where things get interesting. While Trump's policies posed serious setbacks, they also galvanized new movements. States, cities, and corporations across the US doubled down on climate action. Organizations like the We Are Still In coalition vowed to uphold the Paris Agreement goals, even without federal leadership. So, what can we do to keep fighting climate change? Here are 3 solutions that give me hope. First, invest in renewables. Transitioning to wind, solar, and other clean technologies isn't just good for the planet, it's also good for the economy. Renewable energy creates jobs and reduces reliance on volatile fossil fuel markets. Second, strengthen global collaboration. Even with setbacks like Trump's withdrawal, international partnerships remain critical. Supporting vulnerable nations with funding and technology will strengthen global resilience. And third, grassroots movements. Never underestimate the power of people. Protests, advocacy, and public pressure have already pushed leaders and corporations to take climate change seriously. At the end of the day, the Paris Agreement is about more than just governments. It's about all of us. Yes, setbacks like drill, baby, drill are frustrating, but they don't have to define our future. Every action, big or small, matters. Thanks for listening. If you found this insightful, don't forget to share it. And let's keep the conversation going. What steps do you think we should take to tackle climate change? Let's work together to shape a better future.